Cancer Kiss My Coolie is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to raising community awareness surrounding children with brain cancer. Our goal is to raise funds to help local families living with this life-threatening condition, along with providing support to these children and their families.
To us, they are the fighters. They are soldiers. They are the heroes. To us, they are strong. They will always triumph. There is no bad, and there is no loss. But in a battle, they can be weak, or fragile, or scared, and they can fall. But every time they fall, they stand again, and to us, they never give up. But to them, they are just kids. Kids who want to smile and to laugh. They want to pretend and dream. They want to wish and play. They know how to love. They know how to help. They find the light in the darkest of places. And when you're in that darkness, they know just what to say. As parents, it is our job to protect them, to keep them safe, without pain and without fear. But when someone tells you that you can't keep them and the battle will soon be over, what do you do? Our job is to make memories and keep hope, because every day is a gift, and their moment is now.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ben.
Ben who?
Bend over and kiss my coolie.
When our son was ill and people were coming out of the woodwork to help us, and they were bringing us meals, and strangers were cleaning my house, and complete strangers actually came to us from near and far and said, "We know what you're going through. We've been through this ourselves, and we know that this will help you." And none of it was more or less important than the last person who came by. It was just, we were overwhelmed with kindness, and it was like humanity had been restored. We had a complete understanding of the human spirit again. We just knew that this is what we wanted to do after Carter left us, that we wanted to be the one who was going to help the next guy.
There's children who are fighting for their lives every single day, and I have time to offer. I want to make a difference. I want to make that brain tumor or cancer diagnosis, the pain of that, just a little bit easier for families.
I volunteer my time with Cancer Kiss My Coolie because I cannot wait to grant a little boy or a little girl with their first big kiss of hope wish. It'll be all worth it. We've been working on this for so long.
When my friends Joe and Cinnamon, when their son Carter got sick, I kind of helped out and stepped forward with trying to get any sort of assistance for them, and just the way that people stepped forward and helped them out, it was very overwhelming, and I would like to help other families in the same way.
Cancer Kiss My Coolie was very important to my wife and I. We first heard of Carter's situation on the radio shortly after he got sick, and they were planning a fundraiser for him. And my wife and I had lost our son to a brain tumor 5 years earlier. And when we heard about this, we knew that it was something that we wanted to be involved in. We wanted to reach out to Joe and Cinnamon and just be whatever kind of support we could be for them. And when Joe mentioned he wanted to start this charity, we knew that it was something we wanted to be involved in.
Well, Kiss of Hope is going to be our way, or I should say their wish, something that's tangible, something that they know that they want, and something that they quite possibly can't afford, and something that we're going to be able to give to a child regardless of the medical expenses that are building up at home, and regardless of whether or not both mom and dad are working full-time or part-time, but just one thing that financially the family doesn't have to worry about, that we can hand to them and say, this is what you asked for, well, we're going to give it to you, and we can, because of all the generous hearts out there that have given to this wonderful foundation.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I can't help these kids medically, so I think we need to help these kids in any way that we can as an organization and as a community.
They deserve a kiss of hope. For that reason, is just for a big hope. They need some stuff to look forward to that's not a doctor's appointment or someone sticking them at home with needles.
There's just so much uncertainty for not just the child, but the entire family, where everyone wants to keep that hope alive, but we know in the back of our minds that this is a very serious situation, and you don't know how to react. And sometimes the day-to-day responsibilities can slip by pretty easily, and when you have someone else that's looking out for those things for you and can tell you some things of what to expect, that can make a big difference.
I just saw how the strangers who helped Carter, how that affected his life and how he appreciated it. I learned so much from him. And I think that perfect strangers, friends, family, everybody gave Carter that. So I want to do the same.
You know, these kids, I swear every one of them is more special than the last. But I know for our son that he was pulled out of school. He had to leave his home, and we swept him off to St. Jude Hospital, where he had to live with mommy, and he only got to see his dad on the weekends. And he was poked with needles every day and put under anesthesia for MRIs and CT scans. I think that kids are forced to grow up too fast in this case, and our children are in pain, and the fact that they have to pretend like they're not, and they do it for us, I think that they deserve something special, even if it's just a small token or something to distract them from the everyday. But that's why they deserve this.
Carter would say, "It's totally awesome." And he'd talk about it for a few minutes, and then he'd interrupt and pretend like there's static in the phone, and he'd say, "You gotta go," and hang up. But he would think this is really great.
I think that he would have a sparkle in his eye and a huge grin, and he'd say, "That's awesome."
When Carter got sick, we immediately started thinking about all of the things that we could give to him that we wouldn't be able to give to him next year because we knew he'd be gone. So when he asked for it to rain gumballs, Carter's crew got together and made it happen. And when he said he wanted to be an astronaut, he got to talk to an astronaut on the space station. So I think that if Carter knew that we were taking his bucket list and filling that bucket list one check at a time, I think he would say, "You gave me a pretty good life for those 15 months. And if you can give that to another little boy or girl, I'm right behind you, Mom and Dad." I think he'd be really proud of us. Unfortunately, without the donations, we can't make our dream a reality. And even one of Carter's dreams was to make everybody's wishes come true. And now we're following through with what he wanted. And unfortunately, people think that, well, I would love to help, but I don't really have enough to give. But what they need to know is that every dollar gets us $1 closer to making another child's wish or dream come true. Without the donations and the support that we received from total strangers, we wouldn't have been able to make all of Carter's dreams come true. And Carter was just the beginning, because now that the foundation is up and running, there's going to be a lot of children out there with a lot of dreams and a lot of wishes, and we want to help as many as we can. There are big, big dreams, and there are not so huge, big dreams, little dreams, but anything to make these kids forget for just a day or a weekend or a week, to remind them that they're still a kid and to let them be a kid. I mean, how can you not want to help make it happen?
I think about those 15 months that Carter was sick and what we endured together as a family and what he endured as a patient. And there was a lot of pain. And as a parent, you try to carry that pain, but you can never truly own it. But the pain that I felt in the most difficult moments was always washed away when someone made my son smile. And when you've been told that you will lose your child, that smile or that memory, it's all that matters. So that's what I did. When I woke up, I made it my goal every day to make sure that Carter smiled. And when I think about everyone that touched us, they were doing the same thing. When Carter earned his angel wings, I knew our journey couldn't end. I knew we needed to continue to move forward and follow through in what he wished for everyone's dreams to come true. So to honor his legacy on what would have been my son's 8th birthday, we publicly announced Cancer Kiss My Coolie. We want to give families living with pediatric brain cancer something that we had: memories, peace of mind, and hope. Together, we can make them smile, and together, we can tell cancer to kiss it. Help us fund a Kiss of Hope today. For more information or to donate now, please visit cancerkissmycoolie.org, because their time is now.